Hi. Many people look at rules as a bad thing. That if you have rules, that it means it's not going to be fun. But guess what? That's not the case. And even God has rules or expectations for us to follow. Let's listen to the story of the 10 Commandments.
God's people had been traveling on their journey from Egypt for over 2 months. They arrived at the foot of Mount Sinai. The Israelites spread their camp in the desert in front of the mountain. Moses went up onto the mountain to speak with the Lord. Moses remembered this place because this is where he used to be a shepherd for his father-in-law. This was the same place where he had seen the burning bush. Moses remembered how God had promised to lead Israel out of Egypt. Moses knew that the Lord always did what the Lord said he would do. On the mountain, God spoke to Moses and gave him a message for the people of Israel. Moses called the elders of the people and told them what the Lord had commanded him to speak. This was the message. If you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasured possession. When the people heard God's message, they responded, "We will do everything the Lord has said." The Lord gave special instructions to Moses for the people. They were to wash themselves and their clothing and be ready by the 3rd day. On that day, the Lord was going to come down on Mount Sinai. The people were not to touch the mountain. Anyone who touched the mountain was to be put to death. On the morning of the 3rd day, the people were assembled before the mountain, dressed in their newly cleaned clothes. As they gazed at the mountain, they saw God's power demonstrated once more. A thick cloud was on the mountain. Lightning flashed and thunder rolled down its slopes. Then fire burst out of the mountain, and there was a loud trumpet blast. The people trembled with fright when they saw this awesome display of God's power. The trumpet sound kept getting louder and louder. Then God spoke to Moses. He gave Moses 10 commandments that he wanted his people to obey. These are the 10 commandments from the Lord. 1. You shall have no other gods before me. 2. You shall not make for yourself an idol. 3. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord. 4. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 5. Honor your father and your mother. 6. You shall not murder. 7. You shall not commit adultery. 8. You shall not steal. 9. You shall not give false testimony. 10. You shall not covet. God gave these commandments to his people because he knew they needed a plan for living. God was preparing the Israelites to become a great nation. God knew that a nation could not be great unless there were good laws. The laws would guide them in the way they were to worship God and in the way they were to treat other people. If the people would obey the laws, then they would be happy and they would show the other nations that the nation of Israel followed God. God's rules were also a symbol of the important agreement or covenant God had with his people. They would obey him and he would take care of them. God wrote this agreement on stone so that Moses could take it down the mountain and show the people.
Wow, think about that. At the end of the day, the only reason God gave his people the 10 commandments was so that they could be a blessing to themselves and to other people. What does it mean to be a blessing? That means that you can be happy. That means that you can have joy. That means you can have peace. That means you can do well in school. That means that you will have better relationships with your friends. All of these things are blessings. And blessings are easier if you follow God's rules. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't do anything that will hurt other people or show that you don't love God like you say you do. So, what am I challenging you to do? Follow God's rules, right? The easiest way, the best way to get blessings is to follow God's rules. Matter of fact, that's our chant for today. Here it is, very simply. The best way to get blessings is to, and you're going to say, follow God's rules. Let's try it again. The best way to get blessings is to, and you're going to say, follow God's rules. Are you ready? Let's try it. The best way to get blessings is to, that's right. The best way to get blessings is to, and that's 100% right. If we follow God's rules, His commands that He gives to help us, we will be blessed. Okay, go follow God's rules. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.